honesty. It's the pillar we dance around, that we beat against. We push and pull, love and hate, avoid, and ultimately learn to accept. And in that very moment of acceptance, everything changes. Things begin to click, and there's a boost of energy unlike any other. In that moment, I realized something great about honesty. That the truth that I once knew, the truth that was stretched, the so-called truth that became my daily norm, was in fact just a lie. In that moment, I realized that lying only forced me to succumb to square one. And in that moment, I realized I should have dressed better for the occasion. I'm currently 20 and been out in college for 5 years. That is 25% of my existence that I lived in freedom. It was my former self, the facade and the lies that I created. It was myself that I broke away from. In retrospect, I understand that the pressure society had on me, of course, influenced the decisions to do the things that I did. But I was the one that took it even further. It was I who created and fostered a toxic environment for myself that led me to seriously contemplate but never attempt suicide. It just didn't sit right that I lived this double life, never sought for help, would be fine externally, yet go home and cry in the corner in the middle of the night. I realized in those moments that we all inherently know the problems in our life, and we each have the abilities to fix them, and we are ultimately in control. So let me set up when I first came out. I had an extra push. A friend of mine came out as a lesbian a few weeks earlier, and it was during my sophomore year of high school. I observed how her life changed dramatically. She dressed differently, she shaved her head, and she had this liberated confidence that was intoxicating, and I wanted that for myself. So there was a day in my math class where we had a substitute teacher, and that substitute fell asleep. So a group of us got together, and we decided to play Truth or Dare. So that friend of mine decided to be my challenger, if you will. She asked, Truth or Dare? And because I'm not willing to pull off someone's weave, I chose truth. She asked, Ryan, are you gay? I knew it was coming. They knew it was coming. This wasn't a question that slapped me in the face. In that moment, it was right, and it was my time. So I responded to them, no. I had always known that I was gay, but fear once again held its grip on me. I knew it, and they knew it. But I acknowledged that it was a step in the right direction. I started to begin to free myself from the shackles that held me down. I wasn't completely liberated, but the opportunity had opened its doors. And I understood that with patience comes transition. By the time my junior year came around, I shed myself of that bisexual identity as I continued to grow into my homosexual self. Once I felt the time to be right again, I decided to come out to my sister. I thought she could be the step that would lead me to coming out to my parents. At the time, I was 16. She had already left to college, and we were having a conversation by phone. I thought because she was hundreds of miles away, if she didn't accept me, what would it matter? I was safe, and there was a distance that kept it that way. I remember watching Queer Eye for the Straight Guy in Project Runway while talking to her. I remember watching these people and thinking, if they're on television being who they are, I can easily do this in my own life. So I gathered my strength, and this is how that conversation went. Lucy, I have something to say. What? It better not be something stupid. No, it's not something stupid. Then what? I'm gay. And there's a pause. Well, duh. As you can see, it went over very well. If for anyone else, I would have been highly irritated or ever more confused. I realized the extent and virtuosity to the phrase, words have power. The way I dress, the way I talk, the way I listen, the way I move, all has impact in some form or fashion. I realized that the few years I was out before coming to college, I had started to gain control, but had no idea what to do with it. The moment I came out to my parents stemmed from frustration. I was standing in the garage with my mother, and she had been questioning my friendship with one of my best friends. My mom wanted me to stay away from this girl because she thought that girl was going to do something with me. I told her that nothing was ever going to happen, but she was adamant that something would. This wasn't the way I planned on telling my mother, but it just happened. I said to her, "Nothing will ever happen because I'm gay." The look on her face was purely stunned. And then she gave me a hug that only a mother could give. She took a step back and asked, "Does your father know? I'm going to tell your father." And then she ran inside. I had no chance to explain myself. But that night my dad came into my bedroom and sat down, and we conversed a bit about how I was gay and the fact that they accepted and loved me no matter what. I realized that once attending college that I am now in control. I am left to my own devices, and nothing except for myself can get in my way. As I continue to evolve and grow, my confidence explodes, as does the cloud of glitter that surrounds me. Any sort of extension that I project to have positive impact to those who encounter it. I like to think of myself as a metaphorical beacon of light. At the age of 20, I understand that this process is much bigger than myself, and I want to pass this energy and opportunity on to others. That honesty really is the best policy. I'm in a position now that my experience makes me a self-proclaimed wise soul, and I have the attire to match. So, in hopes that you'll benefit, I want to close with some words of encouragement written by Dr. Seuss. I've heard there are troubles of more than one kind. Some come from ahead and some come from behind. But I bought a big bag, and I'm all ready, you see. Now my troubles are going to have troubles with me.